Okay, guys, and we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Lonely Stunner podcast, and it's episode 33 of my side quest. Now, similar to last episode, it's going to be a bit different, a bit of a departure from the usual topics we talk about. Typically, we talk about MMA, wrestling, boxing, etc. Last episode was a bit about business and HSBC. This one's going to be sort of sports, stroke business sort of talk. And we're going to kick it off with Amazon Prime recently announcing that they're going to be offering Ligue 1 football, the French First Division Ligue 1 football games for Amazon Prime viewers in the UK at pay-per-view. So essentially they're going to be offering, you can watch a Ligue 1 game on the weekend for £2.50 a game. Now, this for me is a pretty sort of weird move, I'll be honest, because if it was a part of Amazon Prime's package, I could understand it. And to be fair, even that wouldn't increase viewership at all because nobody in the UK is watching League One football. I'll be honest, nobody's watching it. Especially the average game. Okay, maybe occasionally you might get the odd person wanting to watch a PSG game. A PSG v Marseille, one of the big games. PSG v Lille or PSG v, I don't even know, the other big teams in France. But if you think you're going to have people consistently spending £2.50 to watch Brest v Nice, that's not happening, bro. No one is paying £2.50 a game to watch League One football. Maybe if it was £2.50 a month to watch all of the games, you may get a decent amount of signing up. But no one really cares in the UK. And I understand maybe Amazon Prime adding this as an additional service. Like I said, adding it as a free additional service to make it an even bigger value proposition to someone who's not got Amazon Prime Video to subscribe, because you're like, okay, well, I get all these things plus League One football. But nobody's paying an additional £2.50 per game. It's not even like you pay £2.50 and you can watch all the games in a weekend. It's £2.50 per game, which I guess nowadays with the sort of technology we've got and Amazon's infrastructure and cloud streaming, where they only need to sort of hold the stream essentially in one place and it can be streamed to all of the Amazon servers in the UK, across the world, wherever. Back in the day, I suppose they would have needed to have physical servers in France and in the UK for it to be streamed and all that, and I suppose cloud services have made that sort of thing a lot easier, in addition to Amazon actually having the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure to be able to support this as well. So even if they did have to have physical servers in France and physical servers in the UK, they've already got that. These are already existing servers. But really weird. I mean, even in the UK, right? Even in the UK, I can understand, and we see it, that viewership for sports is dropping. Obviously, largely, sports games are still doing very well in terms of viewership in comparison to other TV shows and other entertainment, because sports is live and it's got die-hard fan bases. But even then, right, I'm in the UK, I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't even watch every Arsenal game anymore. I mean, maybe it's posing a bigger question because for me now football's getting pretty boring. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan and Arsenal are actually doing pretty well the past few years, but I don't even watch Arsenal every week because comparison to the other sports I watch, like MMA or boxing or basketball or whatever, kickboxing, etc., football is very boring in comparison to these sports. Right, so like I said, I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't even watch every football game, every Arsenal game. So imagine you're someone in London, right? And there's a Everton v, Southampton game on. I couldn't give I could not care less who wins or loses that game. Let alone a game in France against two mid-table teams. Nobody is paying for this, bro. I would be very surprised. Okay, the only people that would be watching it would be the occasional person who wants to watch the PSG games or a gambling addict. To be honest, that's betting on these games and wants to watch it to like make it more interesting, right? But even then, with a lot of these gambling services now, these gambling apps, you can watch the games on there. Now, sure, the quality's not amazing and it's a tiny screen in the corner, but you can watch it. You know, occasionally you can watch it. I know you can watch NBA games on there. Occasionally you can watch football games on there. You can probably watch some boxing games on there, some MMA. You can watch stuff on gambling apps, and it doesn't cost you £2.50 a game. So a bit of a baffling move, in my opinion. It is and it isn't, because Amazon Prime, I can understand them doing this. If they've got the rights for it, they may as well offer this as a service, because I imagine they probably would have picked up the rights pretty cheaply, because, like I said, nobody's watching it over here. So there's no reason why Amazon would be spending billions and billions and billions on League One rights. It wouldn't make any sense. But I don't know the ins and outs of that deal. I don't know if it's been publicised or not. I've not got that details in front of me, but weird move. And it probably won't be that successful for Amazon Prime. But to be fair, they don't really need it to be. Amazon Prime, they're out here making tons and tons of money through other ways of making money. So they're not too fast. But yeah, I just thought it was weird. Just thought it was a really weird move. And I understand Amazon Prime as a potential suitor, particularly probably because Sky Sports and TNT Sports had no interest in buying it. Because again, it nobody's watching this. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's going to be watching this. So why even pay for the rights and have it take up valuable time in your schedule when, do you know what I mean? When no one's watching it. So interesting move, and I guess this on-demand streaming sort of option for Amazon Prime probably suits them, and League One probably didn't have a ton of options to go with in terms of distribution deals in the UK. They probably didn't have tons of options, so they're stuck with Amazon Prime. And to be fair, League One, they're not complaining because their deal's probably fixed, I'd imagine, unless they've got like a revenue sharing deal, which is possible, but who knows? I don't know the ins and outs of that deal. But at least for those who want to watch it, League One's on Amazon Prime. So if you want to pay £2.50 to watch Nantes v Nice, but by all means. And also, we'll move on to Vinicius Jr. announcing that he's buying part of a Portuguese football club. So he's buying second tier side Alverca, and he's got a how much is he spending on it? Approximately 10 million euros. So this would be pennies to Vinicius. Approximately his 1 year's salary. So yeah, Vinicius is eating. He's been eating, to be fair. And he's going to put 10 million euros into this, about 8 million quid. He's acquired the team. He's part of a consortium, so it's a group of Spanish and Brazilian investors, which makes sense because Vinicius is Brazilian and he plays for Real Madrid, a Spanish team, so probably got links to them through that. So a group of investors have bought the club. I don't imagine Vinicius Jr. will be particularly heavily involved in the day-to-day one. I mean, well, he won't be. He's a 24-year-old kid, footballer. So he's not going to be hugely involved. But interesting move for Vinicius. I think it's a move that long-term for him makes some decent sense, because even in 5 or 10 years, if the club's still worth a bit more money, even through inflation, and say they get promoted, and how are they doing in the league? Oh, it looks like so from what I'm seeing here, it's a club that's based in the metropolitan area of Lisbon, which is, as far as I know, that's the capital of Portugal, or one of Portugal's big cities, and they're currently second in the Portuguese second division and in line for automatic promotion. So they get promoted, and say after a few years, 5-10 years, they're pushing for, solid mid-table in the Portuguese first division, pushing for Europe. That 10 million euro investment will increase by a couple X, probably be double, maybe triple, worth double or triple what it's worth now. So I think long term is a good move for Vinicius, and say he sells in 10 years for triple the amount, 34, he would have just cashed a 30 million euro check, which easy money to him. And again, it's about grabbing these assets while you're young, so when you're older and when his football career is over, because football careers are very short, and when his football career is over, he's still got a huge asset that he has control of and that he can sell at any moment to become, get tons of cash on book very quickly. So yeah, smart move from Vinicius there. And to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of footballers buying football clubs, because footballers aren't businessmen. As much as these guys want to be fashionable and think they're smarter than they are, they're not. They're footballers. They're not guys with business degrees. They're not guys who have worked in offices. They're not guys who've been managers before. These are sports people who are only concerned with, how can I get the best performance for me? typically, and maybe the team, but it's an on-pitch performance they're worried about. But obviously, it's not Vinicius just buying it. It's a group of investors who will have a lot more. I imagine they'll be a lot more involved in the day-to-day, and the management and financial responsibility of the club will fall more with them. It would be ridiculous if Vinicius buys the club and then gets announced as CEO of the football club. That's definitely not going to happen. But yeah, interesting move for Vinicius and a smart long-term move too. That's going to be it from me. It's been another episode of the Seth Solo Sidequest. We talked about Amazon Prime picking up the French football distribution deal, and also Vinicius Jr. buying a Portuguese second division football club. That's it from me. I'm out. Peace.